Mice and rats are among the most common pests in homes and businesses. They can cause extensive damage to property, contaminate food, and spread disease. While there are a number of ways to control rodents, one of the most common is using traps. There are a variety of traps available on the market, but the simplest and most affordable is the mouse or rat trap. These traps can be easily set up and used to capture mice or rats quickly and efficiently. You can use a mouse or rat trap to capture and control rodents. To make your captured rodent easier to transport, put some bait or peanut butter in the back of the trap. You should also set up some traps in high traffic areas such as under furniture and along baseboards where rodents like to travel. Mice and rats are tricky creatures that can find holes no matter how well hidden they are, so be sure to seal any openings with steel wool or caulk. What are mouse and rat traps, and how do they work? Mouse and rat traps are devices used to capture and control rodents. They work by trapping the animal inside a small enclosure, where it can no longer escape. Most mouse and rat traps are simple to use. They usually consist of a small chamber with a spring-loaded door. The door is baited with food, which attracts the rodent. When the rodent takes the bait, the door snaps shut, trapping the animal inside. Mouse and rat traps are an effective way to control rodents. They are easy to set up and use, and they can be very effective in trapping rodents. What do you put in mouse traps or rats? When it comes to choosing bait for mouse traps, there are a variety of different options to choose from. Some of the most popular baits include 1. Soft cheese. 2. Peanut butter. 3. Bacon. 4. Cereals. 5. Fruit. 6. Chocolate. 7. Wet cat food. However, the best bait to attract rats or mice is peanut butter. It's the most effective bait since rodents are attracted to the strong nutty smell. No matter what type of bait you choose, it's important to make sure that it's something that the mouse or rat will be drawn to. You also want to make sure that the bait is easy to get to, so that the mouse or rat doesn't have to struggle too much to get to it. Where is the best place to put a mouse or rat trap? Rats and mice are cautious creatures who prefer to go from one location to another by clinging to walls, fences, shrubs, and other forms of concealment. If you're having difficulties catching rodents using snap or glue traps, you might rethink where you're putting them. There are a few places where you can put a mouse trap to increase your chances of catching the mouse or the rat. We recommend 1. Place traps around the walls and corners of your attic if there is an infestation. 2. Traps should be placed in cupboards, under appliances, and in corners if they are inhabitable sections of your home. 3. If your rats prefer to be outside, set traps near plants and fence lines, as well as along the patio walls. 4. If you have a pool, keep it close to the filter pump. 5. Set up traps in high traffic areas, such as in the kitchen near the food or in the garage near the storage bins. 6. Put a mouse trap under furniture and along baseboards, where rodents like to travel. Be sure to seal any openings in your home with steel wool or caulk, as mice and rats can find their way into even the smallest hole. Can mice learn to avoid traps? Mice are very clever creatures and can learn to avoid traps if they are used often. If you find that your traps are not catching mice, you may need to switch up your tactics. Try using different types of bait, changing the location of your traps, or using multiple traps in one area. Mice are very determined creatures and will continue to try to get into your home or business, so it is important to be vigilant in trapping them. Do rats learn to avoid traps? Yes, rats can learn to avoid traps if they are caught in them often. In fact, rats are very smart creatures and can learn to do things like avoid traps or run a specific route to get where they want to go. This means that if you're using traps to get rid of rats, it's important to move them around often so the rats don't get used to them. You also may want to try different types of traps, as some may be more successful than others. Rats are very resourceful creatures, and they will eventually learn how to avoid any trap if given enough time. How do rats or mice know to avoid traps? Rats and mice have excellent olfactory abilities. This talent aids them in staying alive, especially when confronted with traps. Rodents are aware of our odor. They will avoid a trap if they smell humans on it or near it. Although when food is available for them, rodents remain cautious. As they eat, they are on high alert. This permits certain mice and rats to avoid being caught in the middle of a meal by snap traps. The mouse or the rat reacts instantly when the trap springs. This increased vigilance, along with the hesitant manner in which mice nibble on food, helps them escape becoming trapped. In the end, the best bait for mouse and rat traps is usually cheese, peanut butter or bacon. You may also want to consider using a soft material that mimics the texture of their favorite food sources, such as oats. Once you've set up your traps with good bait and proper placement, check them daily for rodents. Mice can squeeze through very small holes, so always seal off any openings near your home with steel wool or caulk before setting out any traps. If all else fails, call an exterminator who will be able to do an assessment on the property and recommend solutions. Rodent Exterminator provides you with the best services to capture, eliminate and clean all traces of these rodents. With more than 30 years of experience and the best professionals, we guarantee a house free of rats and mice. Call us 213-431-0890.